Our first speaker of the day is Johnny Els. He's been here before. He is our fitness king. He is here to teach you guys the importance of fitness. So we're happy to have you back, Johnny. It's been a little while.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for having me. I haven't been here at all this year. I was here in December, and just to kind of touch on what you guys just talked about, I'm going to talk a little bit about my story, how I started TruFit, but it definitely started off as a side gig for at least about a year, and then when COVID hit, it kind of just blew up, and so this is what I do full time now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving every aspect of it, and it's definitely something that I kind of wish I started sooner, to be honest. So. Thanks a lot for having me. This is a topic that I'm really, really passionate about, and I'm hoping I can connect with a lot of you guys about this. Um, Jordy, that photo that you have on me on the website, I need to update that. That's an old photo, but I think Kylie and I are going to talk about that soon. So, and Jody's here, who's a client of mine. So thank you, Jody, for being here. She's awesome. And what I'm going to do real quick is just share my screen, and then I'm going to get started. All right. All right, guys. So the reason I'm here is because my passion is health and fitness. It's been a passion of mine ever since I was a little kid. I was in multiple different sports growing up. I was a collegiate swimmer, but then I started the TruFit Academy, and I got connected with Jordy a couple months ago, who is incredible. And Kylie's been helping me out a lot as well, just kind of get connected with more veterans because this is a topic that a lot of people struggle with. And so I'm here to help you guys understand how to build a sustainable civilian life that's going to keep you healthy, energized, confident, and mission ready. Okay. A little bit about me, guys. I've been a certified personal trainer and health coach now for just over 8 years. I got my degree in kinesiology from Texas A&M, and I even coached the A&M triathlon team when I was there for a couple of years, which was incredible because I got to work with many different kinds of athletes in the pool, out of the pool, talking about nutrition and just kind of building a team. We went off to nationals and we placed third at nationals, which was really fun. Um, and then I moved up here to Colorado. I became a personal trainer and I started TruFit in 2019. But then when COVID hit, I lost my job and I didn't really know what I was going to do. And so I just went full force into TruFit, and it has been growing every year since then. And so now this is my full-time job, and I've been connecting with veterans and CEOs and parents and a bunch of other people all over the world just to kind of help them figure out how I can support their healthy lifestyle. So over the last couple of years, I've helped over 200 people collectively lose over 3,000 pounds without any kind of extreme restrictive dieting or unsustainable programs. Okay. I was even mentioned in the New York City Journal a couple of years ago, which was really cool. So they interviewed me, and it was a whole thing online. So that was really fun. And my philosophy here with TruFit, guys, is we want to be able to focus on building realistic habits that are going to fit into your life. Okay, so that it supports your life instead of taking it over. Okay. A lot of people, when they want to get in shape or when they want to lose body fat or just kind of get back into a routine, they start to commit to unrealistic processes that don't last long. Okay. And I'm actually really happy that I'm here at the beginning of February because a lot of people who started a New Year's resolution typically start to fall off right about now. So hopefully we can change that for a lot of you guys and figure out a really sustainable, enjoyable plan moving forward. Okay. So the core message to the guy is today is you are trained to thrive under structure, okay, and having that accountability, which was huge for a lot of people. But now that you're transitioning or in civilian life, no one's doing that for you. Okay, you're kind of on your own, which can really suck for a lot of people. Okay, so this is going to be about how to take back control for yourself, how to rebuild that discipline in your health, and create that structure that's going to keep you happy, healthy, energized, and confident for many, many more years to come. Okay. I'm definitely going to do some Q&A at the end. So if you guys have questions, either write them down or keep them in your head or whatever. But I definitely want to talk to a lot of you afterwards. Okay. Okay. Here are the unfortunate realities with veterans. And a lot of them that I've talked to over the last couple of months are struggling with these things right here. Okay. They don't have any motivation just because you don't have any kind of physical test that you have to pass every quarter or whatever it is. Okay. So the lack of structure and the lack of know-how is eliminating any hope of actually sticking to a routine. Okay. You don't have any kind of consistency because you're all on your own. So you don't have any kind of accountability. You're not part of a team or a unit or anything like that to actually get you up out of bed and go for a run or whatever it is. So now that you're on your own, maybe you've lost your sense of purpose or lost your sense of identity. You don't really know who you are or what your skills are or what the next steps are in life, okay? And this can lead to bad habits and poor relationship with food, with alcohol, with drugs, things like that, which are all gonna support or aid your depression and stress, which we want to eliminate, okay? So usually what happens, guys, a lot of veterans gain anywhere between 20 to 50 pounds in the first 1 to 2 years. And eventually you look down and you're like, man, what happened? I don't know what's going on, right? And now I don't have any motivation because I'm too tired to do anything about it. Your clothes don't really fit as well as you want them to. Your energy drops, your confidence fades, and your motivation to do anything about it kind of goes out the window. Okay. And unfortunately, this transitions to a lot of mental health struggles. Feeling isolated, poor body image, feeling just down on yourself or lost, or just not feeling like you're good enough to do whatever the next step is in your life. Okay. And I know this because I've talked with a lot of different veterans over the last couple of months. A lot of them have signed up with me, but these are the common things that people struggle with, and these are the things that I want to address first because if we don't address this first, it's going to be really hard to actually stick to a routine and have discipline for it. Okay. So, real quick, guys, while you were serving, like I said, you had that structure, you had the schedule, the standards, and that accountability. Okay. Your identity was clear, right? You were part of a unit, you were part of a mission, and you had that community that was part of the whole process, right? Also, a lot of your decisions were made for you, not by you. So, a lot of your emotions were most likely suppressed, okay? But now that you're transitioning out, your structure most likely had disappeared overnight for some of you. For some of you, also, you might have a really amazing idea of what you should be doing, and you actually have discipline to do it. But I know some people do struggle with that. Okay, but the mission does. Even though the mission ends, guys, the sense of daily purpose also kind of ends with it because now you just don't know what you should be doing. Okay, and you go from feeling like you're belonging to something to now being all on your own. Okay, which is why I'm also really, really thankful for Seven Eagle Group and for Jordy for being here and bringing all of you together because I can imagine being part of these group calls and having people keeping you accountable and having that structure that they're giving you through your skill bridge is actually giving you some clear direction and purpose in your life, which is amazing. That's good. Okay. So what follows is, guys, like I said, motivation kind of fades. Okay, stress replaces the structure. Okay, so a lot of people have poor sleeping habits, weight gain, drinking, isolation. It all just becomes a reality that you didn't have before. Okay, and then also some of those buried emotions start to resurface, like feeling lonely or feeling frustrated or lost or having self-doubt. Okay, and you kind of don't really recognize yourself anymore. And lastly, guys, on a deeper emotional level, like I understand because I also struggled with body image for a while and feeling alone, and feeling like I'm not good enough. And so the thing that helped me out the most was just being part of something bigger than me. Okay. And I'm sure you guys miss being part of something bigger than you because it helped you feel included and supported through whatever you're going through. And veterans crave structure and you crave that purpose again. That's how you thrive, okay? But sometimes feeling guilty or too much pride can keep you from actually asking for help, okay? So, what I want to talk about now is a easy three-step framework to how to flip the script. I call this the TruFit method, okay? I believe this is the only way to help people stay on track and actually create a lifestyle that one, you actually enjoy sticking with, but two, and most importantly, it actually works, okay? If we don't have this method, then you're going to continue to feel stuck, continue to struggle, and you might get more frustrated with the process. All right, so step number one is we need to reclaim the mission, okay? Because the mission didn't end, it is now just evolved, okay? And you need a reason to wake up. You need goals. We need to have things on the schedule, things to do. It's going to keep our mind occupied. Okay. And moving forward, guys, you are now the new mission. Okay. So this is about redefining who you are without the uniform. Okay. This is the shift from following orders to now serving what matters most in your life, which hopefully is your family, yourself, your health, and the legacy that you want to leave behind. Okay. So what we're going to focus on in this one, guys, is just redefining your why and then anchoring your goals around it. In a little bit, we're going to do a little exercise to help you figure out your why, okay? Because the goal is to rediscover your purpose through self-leadership, okay? You are 100% in control of what happens in your life. And if the people who are around you and the things going on around you are important to you, then you need to be grounded in what you're doing, okay? Because without that identity, the structure feels kind of pointless and the discipline feels like punishment. And it's not. It's not punishment. It's just making sure you're doing the right thing for yourself and for your loved ones. Okay. The second thing is going to be to rebuild that structure. We are talking about momentum over motivation. If you are always relying on motivation, you're never going to reach your goal because a lot of people just don't have motivation, right? And it's not strong enough to get you to where you want to be. Okay. We need a system, a repeatable system that you are able to actually complete every single day, even on your worst days. Okay. In the military, they gave you that structure, right? But now it's time for you guys to rebuild it for yourself from within. Okay. So, like I said, you need a simple mission-based routine to create momentum. Okay. And the only way to create momentum is to focus on easy, healthy habits that you are actually able to commit to every single day, even on your bad days. Okay. So we're going to be focusing on movement, daily movement. Okay. Focusing on nutrition, focusing on proper sleep and recovery, and practicing these daily healthy habits that are really easy to keep up with. Okay. Because the goal is to replace the chaos and all of this misguided information that's online about health and fitness and put it into a repeatable system. Okay. I tell a lot of my clients, I even tell Jody, who's in this call now, it's not about being perfect every single day. It's just about being consistent. Like, ask yourself, how can I be 1% better every single day? Okay. You don't have to do everything all at once. It's just about doing one thing today that's better than yesterday. That's it. Okay. And that structure is going to create that momentum. And once we start to build momentum, we start feeling better. We start looking better. We start having more energy. We start seeing that our clothes are fitting better. That is the motivation. And that's that momentum that we're looking for. Okay. And the third thing is going to be to reconnect with somebody, guys. Accountability, that sense of belonging. We need to reconnect with people who understand our mindset challenges and who understand what the mission is and who's actually going to hold you accountable. Okay? Because isolation is going to kill your progress. Okay? Community and being held accountable is going to restore it. Okay? And you are not meant to do this alone. Okay? I don't know how many of you guys have served for maybe anywhere between 5 to 20 years and you felt like you were a part of something for a long time and you probably felt like you had belonged there, right? But now that you're on your own, it's really hard to feel that way. Okay? And accountability is not weakness. Asking for help is not weakness. It's actually a force multiplier. This is going to accelerate you into where you want to be so that you can feel seen and you can restore that identity a little bit faster. Okay? You need people who's going to hold you to your standards. I know all of you guys have high standards. Maybe you have a mile time or a weight goal or whatever that you want to get back to. You need people who are going to support you to get there. Okay. All right. Real quick, guys, I want to go through some action steps that you can start taking today. Okay. If a lot of this stuff hit home for a lot of you, I would definitely take some notes because if we can start being more mindful about what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, I can promise you you'll start seeing results week after week after week. Okay. This first one is going to be to redefine your purpose. So we're going to go through this little exercise. Okay. You don't need to figure out your entire life or your future. You just need to figure out your next objective. Okay. So I want you guys to write down, spend like 30 seconds or so to write down a 30 to 90-day mission. Okay. Whether it's to lose 10 pounds, whether it's to fit into your old jeans, whether it's to have, be less stressed out or have more structure, or just pick something that you know will help you in the next 2 to 3 months. It's not a forever plan. If your goal is to lose 50 pounds, that can feel very overwhelming, but start with 10, right? If we can hit that, you'll build that motivation, you'll build that consistency and that foundation to where you can keep on going. Okay? And then ask yourself this question. If I got the body, the energy, and the discipline that I want back, what would that allow me to show up for better in my life? Do I want to be a better mom? Do I want to be a better boss? Do I want to start this new job and make sure I actually get hired because they can see that I can take care of myself, right? Because no one's going to want to work with you or hire you if they can clearly tell you're not confident, you're not motivated, you're not an action taker, and you can't take care of your own personal life. Okay? So take another 30 seconds or so. Think about, who am I serving now? What kind of person do I want to be remembered as? Okay, and what am I fighting for next? Okay, I know you guys have a lot of career goals, which is amazing, but the career goals are not going to take off if you don't have personal goals as well. Okay, when you guys are finished writing that, put it up on your desk or on your mirror or somewhere where you can see it every day. That is going to be accountability. So it's going to tell you, be like, hey, make sure we're doing this or that. And I'm going to give you some action steps here in a second to fulfill that. Okay. Action step number 2 is going to be to lock in a daily reset. Okay. I need you to pick 3 non negotiables that you are able to repeat even on your bad days. Okay. Because discipline comes from repetition, not intensity. I tell my clients, I would rather you go for a 30-minute walk every single day for the rest of your life than go to the gym 2 days a week for 2 hours and now you're super sore and tired and exhausted and you can't think straight. Okay? It's about consistency, not intensity. So for the next 7 days, don't overcomplicate it, don't overthink it. Just pick 3 things that you know you can do. Okay? Moving your body, going for a morning walk or an afternoon walk, either before breakfast or after dinner. Going to the gym, doing some at-home yoga or doing 10 push-ups or doing 10 squats. Just do something between calls, on your lunch break. Get up, go for a walk, or do something at home. Okay, what helps me is I schedule it. So for a lot of my clients, we have a customized calendar that I put workouts on your calendar Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever fits best with your schedule, but put it in and commit to it. Okay, the second thing is that we need to be fueling ourselves with intention, not just eating because we're hungry, but eating with purpose. So eating protein with every single meal is a really good healthy habit that you can focus on every day. Drinking 2 liters of water every day. That's something everyone should be doing. Doesn't matter if you're a male or female or whatever. Because both of those things right there are going to help to stabilize your energy, eliminate some of those cravings. And if your goal is to lose body fat and feel more energized, these are the first 2 steps. Okay? Pro tip, most people don't even hit 100 grams of protein a day. So bare minimum 100 grams a day. Okay, so just be more mindful about how much protein we're eating, what protein sources we're focusing on. Okay, making sure we're splitting that up all throughout the day. Minimum 100 grams, non-negotiable. And the last thing is going to be a mental reset. Okay, if we cannot recover properly or keep our mind on track, our body is going to fall off track as well. So okay, so get in your get in your corner, get in your office or your couch, get some quiet time, spend some time doing some deep breathing, journaling some of your emotions or your goals. Prayer is a really good one. Okay, get off your phone for the first 30 minutes and last 30 minutes of the day. Okay, we need to be actively thinking about what goals we want to take and how to visualize executing those goals. Okay. So if you're still writing down your mission from from the action number one, write down some three non-negotiables that you know you can actually do every day. And it's not about being perfect. It's not about doing it right every single day because that might not happen. It's not about doing everything or nothing. Okay. It's just about being disciplined through being consistent every day. Okay. And if that's going for a 20-minute walk for the next 7 days and that's it, great. Start off there, build a solid foundation of that one healthy habit. And then the next week we can add one, eating 100 grams of protein with your walk. And then the next week we can add drinking 2 liters of water. And then it just kind of stacks. And eventually you're going to start building this healthy lifestyle that is supporting your body and your mind so that you can actually take care of everything else in your life. And the last one, guys, is going to be to reconnect with somebody. Please do not be alone in this process, okay? Instead of trying to fix everything on your own, which don't doesn't work for a lot of people, reach out to one person from your unit, from the gym, for a friend, family member, someone who understands you and who's going to support you, okay? Text them or call them today. Okay, and just be like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Please don't judge me. And if they're a good friend of yours, they won't. But I'm trying to get back on track here, and I would really love some accountability. So we can do that. Okay, because being part of a community and having some more accountability is going to rebuild that belief that you are good enough, you can do this, and we can start making the right steps. Okay. All right, real quick, guys. Last thing I want to say, then I want to talk about one more thing is why this matters. Okay, because your family does not need a stressed out survivor. They need a steady leader. They need someone who's going to have control and presence and strength in their home instead of working off burnout or frustration or emotional distance. Okay. I sometimes struggle with burnout and frustration for sure, but what helps me a lot is going to the gym or swimming or going on a walk or clearing my mind. These are the healthy habits that I practice every day so that I can not be so emotionally distant from my wife or react out of frustration or anything like that. Okay? Because your fire, your internal fire that you have, guys, it doesn't disappear. It just there's no direction now. Okay? So when structure and purpose return, then the energy and the clarity and the confidence will also return. So you can fully show up for your kids, for yourself, and for your career. Okay? We're leaving a legacy, guys. And this is your opportunity to live longer, lead stronger, model discipline, and provide some role modelship for the next generation. Okay? All right. Real quick, I want to share some transformations with you guys. Okay. Some of these guys are veterans and some of them are not, but this is what can happen when you just have a plan, when you have a repeatable system, and you have some accountability. Okay. Again, it's not about being perfect every single day, it's just about being mindful about what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So, Terry on the top left, he is a triathlete. Um, but he completely lost his control and didn't have any kind of structure in his lifestyle after he transitioned out. But him and I connected, and we built a sustainable system for him with workouts, with a nutrition plan. And he lost 35 pounds, and he was able to regain his energy and his confidence. And he signed up for a half Ironman that's in about 3 months or so. So we're kind of getting him ready for that as well. He's really pumped up for it. And then Nisa on the bottom left, she was transitioning and now she has 3 kids. So her life is really chaotic. And she felt like she really wasn't showing up as the mom that she needed to be for her kids. But after her and I started working together, I introduced the TruFit method. She found her purpose again, which is her health, which is her family. She lost 40 pounds, and her leadership as a mom and as a business owner was all restored, which is really, really amazing. So now she's found that purpose again, and she's living her life on a whole new level, which is great. All right. So one more thing I wanted to share with you guys. Kylie is so amazing, and she was able to help me promote this veteran online community that I started in January. Okay, because I started talking with Seven Eagle Group and a Legion vet, and a lot of them were struggling with a lot of this kind of stuff and needed some direction. So if you're too afraid to ask for help, that's okay. I am now reaching out to see if any of you guys would like some one-to-one help. Okay, so we did create this online community because we don't want you guys to do this alone. Okay. This is your chance to reconnect with other struggling veterans. And this community is built around having structure in your day-to-day life, having that accountability and that support system, and then being part of something bigger than you so you can feel included again. Okay. So Jody can also tell you all about it. I've been working with her for the last 5 or 6 weeks now. We give you the workouts, we give you the videos, we give you those clear routines and that system so you can bring that discipline back into your life. We provide weekly and daily accountability in the group and during our coaching calls, because we want you guys to feel like you're here and we're showing up for you. Okay. Because we want you guys to be part of something that's going to actually help you get through this. Um, no egos, nothing crazy. Okay, nothing intense or restrictive. Just something that hopefully you'll be able to enjoy, and hopefully something that's going to work for you. Okay. So I'm going to give you a QR code here if you want to reach out to me and ask more questions about this online community and how you can get involved. I'd love to chat with you about it. I'd love to learn a little bit more about what you guys are struggling with and if there's anything we can realistically do to help you move forward through this. Okay? And if coaching is not your thing, that's totally fine. I also have a book available on my website. We talk about metabolism and how to burn off body fat and your body type. We talk about different morning routines that you can start practicing. We talk about macros and recipes. There's even a healthy habit tracker in there that's more of like just a checklist. Make sure we're doing this every day, right? So this has also helped a lot of people lose anywhere between 20 to 30 pounds in 3 months. So if your goals align up with that, guys, I highly recommend you can get my book. It's like $50, so it's not a big deal. Okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'd love to answer some questions. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, I'm here for, I don't know, the next 10, 15 minutes, if that's all right, Kylie. And if you guys want to book a call with me just to learn more about my experience or want to learn more about the veteran community, please scan this QR code and we can book a call and talk about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Johnny. I would love, I'm gonna get to your question, David. If some of you guys would be vulnerable and maybe put your hand up and share your mission that he asked you to write down, that would be really cool. Or if you wanted to, I shared mine in the chat. If you wanted to share a couple of those goals that you want to try to hit every day for the next week or so, I would love to hear a few of your guys's. So Diana, go ahead.
Hello, Johnny. Thank you for being here.
I
Um, so I am in the middle of finishing up my certification for CPT with NASM, and I noticed that you also are certified through them. And so I have a couple of questions. How much of the NASM way translated to real world training?
I think the NASM is by far the best certification you can get because there's a lot of stuff included in there, like some of the nutrition aspects is in the NASM certification. I think it's a really amazing overall, um, like just speaking more broadly, I think it's all amazing information that you can use and apply it to any client, right? Because most people need strength training, most people need more clarity on protein and macros and things like that. So overall, I think it's an amazing, informative training for sure. Where it differs is when you start working with people, you need to start applying some of that knowledge to that specific person, right? So everything that I do with my clients is customized, right? I want to make sure that the workouts that I'm building for you and the nutrition plan we're building for you, although it's not restrictive, it is tailored to your body type, to your goals, to your activity level, because all of that matters, right? I don't want to give someone a deficit if they're working out 2 hours every single day because it's just not going to be enough, right? But for someone who's doing daily walks and has a family, they're with their family all day long, being in a deficit would be a little bit easier for them because that's what's going to work, right? So applying that knowledge to individual clients to make sure that it works for them is where the personalized coaching comes into play.
And is that where the TruFit method differs from what you learned with,
So yeah, I took what I've learned and through some of my continuing education, and I've applied it to the TrueFit method. The TrueFit method also changes depending on who I'm talking to,
right.
right? Like if there's a CEO that I'm working with who has a gym in his office and he goes to his gym every day before work, and let's say he's trying to lose 50 pounds, then I will tailor the morning workouts and the afternoon walks and his nutrition and what he's eating in the morning versus what he's eating in the evening. I will tailor all of that to his specific situation, right? But the TrueFit method is about healthy habits. It's about consistency and being in a plan that's going to be enjoyable and that's gonna work, right? It's funny because I have an online application form, and some people say I don't want to do burpees ever for the rest of my life, which I totally understand. So if I'm not gonna give you burpees if you're not motivated to doing them, because
Right.
now you're gonna think negatively about the process. So I want you to think positively about the process, actually be motivated to doing some of the movements we're doing. That way you can create that consistency.
All right, thank you. And my next question is, I am in San Antonio, and I know you have a few clubs here. Do you have any OJT opportunities for somebody like me who's finishing up the certification?
So there's some confusion. There's the TrueFit Athletic Club, which is a gym.
Oh,
My TrueFit Academy is just my online coaching business. I don't
oh,
have a physical location.
okay,
All of my clients are online. So through the workout app and through the weekly coaching calls that we have, and I have a recipe library that I send out to my clients. These are the type of things that I can help them become a little bit more personalized.
okay,
I have a few local clients that I'll meet up with in person, but it's usually like at their local gym, right?
okay.
So for someone who is becoming a certified trainer and who possibly wants to think about starting their own business,
Right,
right? You don't have to have a physical location,
right.
right? You can always find friends or coworkers online and be like, hey, this is what I do. I'd love to connect with you, talk about some of your struggles, see if I am the right person for you or not. And if so, then this is kind of what I offer.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for the question, Diana. David, did you have a question? I saw your hand up. Okay, we'll come back. Christopher, go
Hey,
ahead.
can you hear me?
He
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
want to
we can
talk.
hear you.
All right, how you doing, Johnny?
Good morning.
Christopher, right?
Yes, that's right.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Great.
Really informative seminar about keeping us physically and mentally fit. So it's like you say you have three daily habits that you want to for a more healthy lifestyle. Would you recommend adding a few more on there, even if they're on secondary or arbitrary, to perhaps maybe they can replace those habits?
So the healthy habit tracker that's available in my book has about 10 different healthy habits that you can, I'm gonna give you a few that you can focus on, right? Again, you don't have to do all of them every single day because this doesn't need to be a stressful process because the higher your stress levels are, the harder it is to stay on track, the harder it is to lose body fat, right? So we want this to make things easy for you. And walking for me, because I have a dog, right? I go out for 3 walks a day because my dog has to go to the bathroom all the time. So that's a non-negotiable healthy habit that I have for myself. That one's really easy to keep up with. Another one is also just making sure you're eating a minimum of 100 grams of protein a day, right? So if we're eating egg whites and sausage for breakfast, maybe some Greek yogurt with some protein powder, you can mix that together. That's another 30 grams, right? Focusing on like lean meats like chicken, steak, salmon, pork, shrimp. Those are all going to be higher protein lean meats that you can have for any meal, right? Um, but another really good one is just limiting the sugar, right? So um, a lot of sugar comes from alcohol. So if you're trying to limit alcohol, I would recommend picking 1 or maybe 2 days to have a beer or two or a glass of wine or two or whatever. But we definitely should not be drinking every single day because over the course of a week, that's an extra 800 calories that you don't need, right?
Right, I've kind of become kind of a teetotaler, as they say.
Okay,
Only very occasionally drinking because for me personally, alcohol just induces more headaches and laziness. So I kind of gotten off of it.
definitely. Yeah. And then drinking more water is going to be really important as well, just to kind of clear your gut, to increase your digestive tract and things like that. We have in this community that we built, we had a holistic health coach come in to talk about gut health. And so she was talking about different breathing techniques and different things you can put in your food and different things you can put in your water, all to kind of help out with your gut health and to get your digestive back on track as well. And for a lot of women who are over the age of 40, who are going through menopause or going through like hormonal imbalances, the holistic health coach did a lot of really cool tips for women who are just trying to get their hormones back on track as well. So just drinking more water and eating more protein is going to be a really good tip for that as well. Another one is just having more veggies on hand, right? So what my wife and I do is we'll make a list of everything we need for the week. We'll go out shopping. That way we have everything we need for the week in the house because where a lot of people fall off track is it's a Wednesday night, it's 7:30, you're starving and you have no food. So we order pizza because that's exactly what I would do, right? But we'll have pizza night maybe once a week, or we'll have like a bottle of wine maybe once a week. But we also, both of us, exercise on a daily basis. We go on walks together with our dog. We drink a lot of water. So again, if we can create a lifestyle around the healthy habits, then we don't have to cut out some of the things we enjoy because it's a lifestyle and it should be balanced, right?
Right.
So
Well,
what we do is going back to the veggies, we'll get like 5 or 6 veggies of our favorite, right? Like carrots, broccoli, bell peppers, cauliflower, things like
celery.
that. And we'll chop it all up. We'll put it in a big Tupperware, and that's our veggies like for the week. Now, anytime we want to make chicken or steak or salmon or whatever, we'll grill that up with some olive oil, and then get out a cup of veggies, one for me, one for her, and we'll grill that up with some olive oil as well. There's our dinner. So it eliminates the time you spend cooking, and it's just easier to stay on track because you have all those options readily available.
All right. Sounds great. We will
Yeah,
definitely be um, taking that sounded health advice. So
for
I
sure.
appreciate the insight.
Yeah, yeah. And Chris, I'd love to keep talking to you, man. So if you like, if you're open to it, scan the QR code, book a call with me, and we can dive a little bit deeper into what you're looking for. Okay.
Yeah, Denarius asked in the chat, he said, do you have any thoughts on eating grass-fed beef only? He said he feels a lot better when he does it.
Yeah, the funny thing is, my wife and I, even though we go to the grocery store, I mean, we get lean chicken and steak and beef and stuff like that. Um, we've been doing that for years until about 6 months ago. We started getting all of our meat from a butcher,
Yeah,
and it is mind blowing how much better we feel about getting it that's like basically farm to table, right?
yeah,
So any kind of grass fed stuff like that, that's like a little bit more natural, that doesn't have any chemicals or hormones pumped into it, you're gonna feel a lot healthier. You're gonna have a lot more energy. Your gut health is gonna feel a lot better as well. Um, my wife struggled with skin issues for a while, but ever since we switched over to the butcher, that went away. So that was kind of crazy. Um, but I encourage you guys to it's worth spending a little bit more money for the higher quality stuff because in the long run it's gonna be easier on your system. You're gonna be less stressed out. When my wife and I went to Belize for our honeymoon a couple of years ago, we saw that all the cows there were like really skinny. And we're like, this is really weird that all of our cows are fat in the US and all the cows over there are really skinny. And it's because in the US, they pump some of the cows with hormones and with steroids to make them bigger and with for more meat and juicier meat, all this kind of stuff. But then when you buy it in the store, you're eating some of those chemicals. So, like you won't notice it on a day-to-day difference, but like over the course of a few months, yeah, same with chicken for sure.
Yeah. My family was always big on buying like a half a cow and a half a pig every year. And it usually did the like ground meats and stuff like that ended up being a little more expensive, but overall it was a little bit more cost efficient to buy it from a local farmer all in one go. And then you're getting that healthy meat as well.
Yeah.
And you're supporting a
But
local farmer.
definitely, yeah, for sure. When I was growing up, uh, we didn't have like we weren't like rich or nothing. So it's not like we could afford all the fancy stuff. So when we went to the store, we just bought what we needed to buy, right? It wasn't like a big deal. But ever since I met my wife, she's a little bougier. I've gotten into the habit now of just spending a little bit more money because in the long run, it's going to be better for you, right? Instead of buying the $10 pair of jeans, now I buy the $40 pair of jeans because I know it's going to last me 3 to 4 years versus 1 to 2, right? That's a weird example, but in terms of it's the same thing with our food. We'll spend a little bit more money at the butcher because we know it's fresh, it's not pumped full of crap. We feel better, our skin looks better. Um, she has her own goals about getting more tone and things like that too, which I feel the butcher's been helping out a lot with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Clay, go ahead.
Johnny, it's actually nice to speak with you and put a face and voice to the LinkedIn profile. There
Cool.
is a little bit of something I've heard a debate on between, and you mentioned it, olive oil versus like avocado oil or something like that in terms of health benefits. I hear some people say avocado oil is going to be better because of, the fats that come from versus, olive oil and hearing some of the complaints. You said olive oil, so you're an olive oil guy versus avocado oil.
I am. I'm actually going to look this up because I want to be very accurate with this. Uh,
That's why I asked you, brother, because you're honest.
So here's the thing, without me looking first, and then I'm gonna look at my phone. Olive oil and avocado oil are probably gonna be the two best oils for you, okay? Because they're from a fattier source, right? Olives and avocados. So the oils from that are gonna be a little bit more natural, a little bit more healthier, okay? Versus like canola oil or vegetable oil or things like that, okay? Um, So cholesterol is the exact same for both. Apparently, the avocado oil has a more buttery taste. Not that I care about that, but it's good to know. Um, there's some ridiculously long word here that I can't pronounce. Both of them have a good amount of vitamin E. It seems like avocado oil has a little bit more vitamin E, which is good. Um, Avocado oil is also a little bit better for skin benefits, like moisturizes your skin a little bit better. If people, if that's important for people.
I
Um,
didn't mean to put you on the spot, Johnny. I do really
oh, no, no,
apologize
no.
for that, but
Challenge me. That's what I love for sure. But I'm also not going to make stuff up. I want to make sure that what I'm giving you is legit info. Um, I don't think you have to like pick one or the other because one's bad and the other one's not, right? I think they're both really good. If you have to pick one or the other, I'll maybe go with avocado oil.
got
But
it.
we've had both before. We just always have olive oil kind of ready to go, right? But um, I know they just came out with those new like drizzle things. right? That's like it's like avocado oil, but it's like in this big, amazing bottle. It's like super fancy. It's kind of expensive, but it's like pure avocado oil, no additives. I'm pretty sure the only ingredient is like avocado. So you can check those out.
Got it.
I also do
Very
love coconut
interesting.
oil. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jonathan, that's a really yeah. Extra virgin obviously is better for sure. So I would definitely get extra virgin olive oil. But I also use coconut oil sometimes for cookies or because I have a sweet tooth and so uh, I'll make like some high protein brownies or like some chocolate chip cookies or something. And I'll use coconut oil for those too.
Hmm.
Awesome. Johnny, thank you. You wanted to pick your brain on that. I appreciate
For
it, brother.
sure. Thank you so
Appreciate it,
much for
Clint.
asking. Yeah.
Trenton, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You good? Hey, John, I got a question. Because sometimes I have an addiction to like snacks. So I've been trying to be on the healthier side. So like Quest chips, just curious, like what snacks like do you like?
Yeah, so I would try. I also sometimes I want like a snack or something, right? I would definitely try to focus to sustain most of your hunger through your meals,
Mhm.
right? Like I wouldn't have a smaller meal because you're trying to lose weight, because you're going to be more inclined to snacking, right? So I would definitely try to eat a meal until you're full, and
Yeah.
then wait until the next meal, right? We typically don't ever keep chips in the house because if we do, we would finish the bag in one sitting.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
That's just that's what we do. So because that's happened multiple times, right? But we just try to like not buy them anymore, right? But we'll replace that with like carrot chips, right? They make like little chips that are like made from carrots,
Mhm.
grapes or like blueberries, like those are a good option.
Yeah.
But just replacing some of those saltier, higher fatty snacks with something that's a little bit more fresh and healthier.
Okay.
Okay. Fruit is always good. Even like pretzels is going to be better than
Yeah.
chips, right? I love grapes. I can take down some grapes, right? Um, or even like dried out fruit, right? You can buy little like those little bags of like dried out mangoes or like bananas or anything like that. Or beef jerky is a really good option. But I would definitely research like some health, like lower calorie, high protein snacks
Mhm.
that you can just have in the house. And I would just try to eliminate some of the things that you know are not good for you and just don't buy them.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got you.
Because same thing with us. I'm a cookie lover for sure. Um, and if we buy cookies, I'm having like 10 a night,
Yeah.
right? Um, so we just don't buy them that often. But we do buy my replacement instead of that is just Doves. So we'll like to buy little Dove chocolates and I'll just have like one a day. Like after dinner or whatever, I just let it melt in my mouth so it can last for more than 10 seconds. Um, and I get my sugar fix.
Okay.
But again, dude, like you don't have to like go cold turkey, right? I would start slow, try to be more mindful about what you're doing. And every day is an opportunity to be a little bit better.
Thanks, Trenton.
Uh,
Uh,
sorry, Trent, one more tip I had. My wife loves Cheetos. Um, and I love Cheetos as well. I don't know if anyone else here loves Cheetos, but what my wife has done, because she'll like just grab it by the handful, right, and just shovel it in. What she's been doing lately, which has been really helpful for her, is she will eat her Cheetos with chopsticks. So she's eating them one at a time, right? And after 5 or 10 minutes, you're like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. But if you just use your hands, you eat half the bag, right? I don't know. That's kind of a unique tip that's been working well for my wife.
Interesting. I have a hot Cheeto problem, so I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Ariana, go ahead. One more question.
Hey Johnny, I just
Hi.
want to say I appreciate all the information. I love that you focus on like actual lifestyle changes versus I've had a lot of trainers in the past who kind of put, like these crash diets in your face, and it's always a very short-term solution. But I
Yeah.
do have a quick question as far as what are your thoughts on all these different trackers, like how you have, the Apple Watch, the Whoop bands, or the Aura rings. Like, what are your thoughts on those type of devices?
Um, I'm not too familiar with the Aura rings. I have an Apple Watch. I don't use it that often, but a healthy habit that the watch does track is your steps, right? So if a non-negotiable healthy habit for you is getting in 10,000 steps a day, that's awesome. Like you don't have to do cardio to lose weight if you're getting in 10,000 steps a day, right? And a lot of people associate cardio with like running or whatever. If you don't like running, don't do it because you're not gonna be motivated, right? I'd rather you go out for a 30-minute walk in the morning, go out for a 30-minute walk in the evening, and you'll most likely be around 7,000 steps right there, right? So if you're going to the gym and you're walking, if you're lifting weights and then you're walking on the treadmill for 30 to 45 minutes, you'll hit your 10,000 step goal, right? Um, I will use my fitness pal with clients who are really struggling to see results, but a lot of my clients that I work with for the first 2 to 3 weeks, we don't track anything. I just say, make sure we're eating more protein with every meal, make sure we're eating some more veggies with lunch and dinner, and make sure you're getting in 10,000 steps and more water, right? Like that's it. We start off with that, and most of them most likely lose 5 pounds in the first 2 to 3 weeks. But if it doesn't work, then we get a little bit more serious with tracking your steps, tracking your protein. Because again, I don't want people to have to weigh out their food and think about every little tiny gram that they eat every single day because that's impossible. I've never done that before. I've been able to stay under 15% body fat my whole life because of the healthy habits that are embedded in my daily routine. So, kind of to your point, I see a lot of people sign up for like restrictive diets for 60 days or like a 90-day challenge where they're doing intense stuff all the time. And they do work, but short term, right? Once the diet is over, once the challenge is over, then what, right? You haven't created a sustainable routine that you know you can actually stay on for the next 10 to 20 years, right? Because that's the goal. I want to be able to get to my 60s or my 70s without being on my deathbed, right? I want to make sure that I can watch my grandkids graduate and get married, right? I want to be able to play a full round of golf when I'm 80 years old. Because I just played a full round of golf with my grandpa. He's 82 and he kicked my butt, which is really frustrating. But he has a lot of experience, so it makes sense. But it's cool, you know. It's like that's where I want to be in the long term. And if we think about short-term solutions, you're gonna get short-term solutions. So, like I said, I'd rather you focus on those three repeatable non-negotiables that you're able to do even on your bad days. If you have 8 hours of calls every day, what are some things that you know you can do at home that take up very little time and energy? And if we can repeat that every single day for at least 6 months, you'll hit your weight loss goal. You'll feel more energized. You'll feel more confident, and that's kind of the motivation that's going to keep you going.
Yeah, great questions,
I'm
everybody.
very passionate about this. It's been my whole life, and I want everyone in the world to just feel better and look better and have more confidence so that they can pass that down to the next generation. So the world hopefully can be in a better place in the next 20 years.
That's what I appreciate about you, Johnny. Every time you come on, you can actually tell how passionate and how much you care about this. So thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys for some awesome questions.
Thank you,
I always
everybody.
really appreciate you coming.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much. And reach out, connect with me on LinkedIn if you'd like. I'm on Instagram, TruFit Academy. I got my website, trufitacademy.com. I'd love to chat with you guys and just have a conversation and see what we can do for you.
Yeah, absolutely. See you later.